Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're cracking open the playbook from some of the best in the world of elite volleyball, and we're going to learn how to master our own inner game, how to win that match that's happening between our ears against our own self-doubt.
And we're starting right here with this incredible idea from a three-time Olympic gold medalist. What Carrie Walls-Jennings is telling us is that all those tough moments, the missed shots, the hard losses, they aren't just things to get through. They are the things that make us. Adversity isn't the enemy. It's the gym. It's the training ground.
You know, in any high-stakes situation, on a court, sure, but also in an office meeting or on a stage, the most relentless, toughest opponent you are ever going to face is your own inner critic. It's that little voice inside that knows every single one of your fears and is ready to second-guess your every move.
Just think about it like a coach for a second. The best coaches out there know that screaming at a player for an honest mistake doesn't make him better. It just makes him scared. Scared to take a chance, scared to dive for the ball, scared to play all out. And that inner critic of ours, well, it's usually the meanest, harshest coach we'll ever have.
You know this feeling, right? A play breaks down, the other team scores, and bam, that negative voice in your head just gets so loud. You should have seen that coming. Why'd you hesitate? You totally blew it. It just replays that one mistake over and over again, just fueling that frustration.
So here's the absolute key. We need to stop being our own worst critic and start being our own best coach. It's all about changing the script, rewriting that inner dialogue for when the pressure is really on. And this slide shows such a powerful way to do it. You see, traditional feedback, it's all about the past. It's all about dissecting what went wrong. But feed forward, that's a coaching idea that is all about the next play. It's not, hey, here's what you did wrong. It's, okay, here's what we can do to nail it next time. Our brains are just wired to respond way better to creating a future win than to stewing over a past mistake. Feed forward gets you excited to improve, not defensive about what you did wrong.
So, how do you actually do this for yourself? Well, you steal these lines straight from the playbooks of the greatest coaches. Instead of beating yourself up for a mistake, you catch yourself doing it right. You praise the effort. You reward the process, not just the win-loss column. Swapping out your inner critic's lines for phrases like these, that's how you build real, lasting confidence.
All right, let's move on to the next play, because this all builds on itself. A massive part of quieting that inner critic is to shrink your focus, to bring it way, way down to only the things you can actually control in this very moment.
And Coach Alan Knipe just nails it right here. Look, you can't control a bad call from the ref. You can't control the loud crowd. You can't control a lucky shot from the other side. But what can you control? Your effort, your attitude, your own actions. That's where all your power is.
The legendary coach Marv Dunphy used to say the best drill for absolutely any skill was just pass, set, hit. And you have to ask why. Well, because it takes this huge, complicated game and boils it down to its most basic, controllable sequence. It's like a mental reset button. It forces your brain to stop worrying about the scoreboard and just focus on the quality of the next touch. That's it.
This right here, this is your mantra. When your inner critic starts yelling about the final score, you bring yourself back to the process. If you're working on a big project, your pass is the research, your set is the outline, and your hit is delivering that first slide. You just master your own pass, set, hit, whatever it is in your life, and the outcome will start to take care of itself. Okay, on to a really crucial strategy in this whole mental game. It's about winning the battle between the anxious what-ifs and grounding yourself in the reality of what is.
Oh man, your inner critic is the undisputed world champion of the what-if game. What if I miss this shot? What if they say no? What if I completely fail? It yanks your focus right out of the present moment, which, by the way, is the only place you have any real power, and it throws you into some imaginary, scary future.
Just let that sink in for a second. Karch Kiraly, one of the greatest to ever play the game, didn't obsess about the enormous goal of winning a gold medal. That's a what-if. Instead, he focused everything on winning the what-is. Winning the next practice, winning the next drill, winning today. He just lived in the process. And this is what that mindset looks like. This ready position, it isn't about the point that was just lost, or the next game on the schedule. It is about being totally focused on the here and now. Knees bent, eyes forward, ready for this serve, this pass, this exact moment. It's the physical proof of an internal focus on what is.
So, let's zoom out from the court for a final pep talk here.
Because really, mastering these skills isn't just about winning a game of volleyball. It's about how you show up for every single challenge in your life.
And when we hear the will to win, let's think about it differently. It's not just about beating someone else. It's the will to win that inner game, the will to be your own best coach, that desire, that commitment to your own mental game. That's the most important skill you can ever build. Your inner critic is absolutely terrified of failure. But as the legendary coach Al Skates tells us, failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a necessary ingredient. You can't truly improve unless you give yourself permission to try something new, to make mistakes, and, most importantly, to learn from them.
And let's end with one more from Kirali. When you can reframe failure not as the end of the story, but as the fuel you need to come back even stronger, well, that's the ultimate championship move right there. The setbacks are just the setup for the comeback.
So, we'll leave you with this question to think about. Every single day is a new match. You are both the player and the coach. Your mind is the court. So, how are you going to play?